What's going on, everybody? I'm super excited to be coming at you to talk about the TikTok ban or no ban, right? You're going to need a social commerce game plan either way. So, in this live, we're going to be sharing some very actionable strategies that you can take right now if you're worried about this ban, if you've invested a lot in TikTok and you're wondering, hey, what's going to happen next? We'll also be talking about the future of social commerce. So it should be really great. Going to give everybody a few minutes to pop in here and just want to encourage everyone to keep the questions coming. This is really more of a Q&A. When I had this idea than anything, I wanted to make sure that, I was just able to kind of share my insights. I know everyone's got unique scenarios and unique circumstances. And so just want to encourage everyone to drop questions into the chat at any point, and I'll get to them as they come in. And I'm just excited to chat about it. The one thing I will address right away is I do not think Elon Musk is buying TikTok. Maybe, but personally, it's not on my. I wouldn't bet my money on it. I think that was just a lot of circulation and clickbait. So this will be the exact opposite. Just really, really actionable things that you can do, that your agency can do. I know these are the exact strategies that we are running for our clients right now. I just got off a client call. We're going to be implementing some really cool stuff. And honestly, it will position you, no matter what happens with TikTok, to be in a good position for 2025. So I already commented on the pure fiction. Let's get into it though. Who am I? Maybe you are joining from the Agile side and you're not familiar with me or sort of my background. So I've actually been in the social commerce space since 2020. Prior to that, I was doing a lot of e-commerce and media buying. So that's really, media buying is really what, I started my career in and truly love. And in 2020, I started the agency EK Creative, really with the focus of social commerce. We were doing a lot with live shopping, short form video, community groups on social, and even mobile applications. It was sort of a really pioneering a lot of the strategies that we've seen become so popular in 2023 and 2024. And in 2023, got approached with an amazing opportunity to join the team at Agile, to which I kind of went through the steps there and ultimately joined as partner. And EK Creative merged into the Agile team, which has been just a phenomenal decision for us. Just amazing leadership, amazing opportunity. And it's allowed us to really continue to focus on what we do best, which is that social commerce. And we've been a Meta badged partner since 2020. That's the top tier that you can get to. We were one of the first ever TikTok shop partners. I remember flying down, meeting with them in New York in August of 2022, and they were almost pitching us on this TikTok shop opportunity. So it was amazing to see all the success in 2023 and 2024. And we're just going to continue to build on it, right? No matter what happens, we believe social commerce is the future. The idea of closed loop solutions, the idea of discovering, doing your product consideration, and then ultimately purchasing on social media is really what I think is the future. And I think there's some really cool opportunities. TikTok was able to come in extremely aggressively and capture a significant market share and really set the tone, I think, for the future of social commerce. And it was just an amazing experience working with them and continuing to work with them, regardless of, the fate of their app. And, I will get into some of my personal thoughts, but I really want to keep this focused on you, clients, brands, and action items you can take right now. So a bit more information, just adding some trustworthiness to what we do. We work with some amazing clients on TikTok, generated a lot of GMV, a lot of great return on ads, worked with a number of brands for affiliates and samples. We'll drop some case studies in the link after this, so you can check those out on your own. And we do live shopping for our clients too. And we've been in the live shopping space since 2020. And we've just that's actually been our fastest growing service in 2024. able to generate some really amazing results for clients in that space. And along with the Agile partnership, which has brought in 25 plus years of Google experience, it's just been really amazing to allow us to continue to focus on what we do best. And well, let's get into it, right? The state of TikTok, right? The state of the ban. TikTok was able to come in and capture a large portion of the social commerce market share almost immediately. So in 2023, is estimated in the US to be around 50 billion. 2024 projections, right, were for that to reach around 84 billion and continuing to grow, right? I think the most recent projection I saw was like 144 in 2025. I mean, just staggering numbers, right? And TikTok Shop itself did around 32 billion in GMV in 2024 and around 10 billion in ad revenue. So this is a significant player. I think everyone's familiar with that, right? It's the idea of closed loop e-commerce, right? Being able to discover, being able to review the product descriptions, see reviews from others, and ultimately buy very easily in the app is really what I consider social commerce, right? Closed loop solution. Another way to describe this would be like social media marketplaces, where you get the ability of social media and the ability of a marketplace kind of coming together into one. Really driven by creator campaigns. We saw that with TikTok Shop just absolutely take off. The affiliate sort of creator campaigns were the first things to pop. A really amazing way for creators to see a split of the revenue that they're generating for brands beyond just sort of pay to play posts. With this comes marketplace management on social, right? Responding to customer questions, shipping items out, integrating a third-party data feed from Shopify, right? All these things kind of come together. And then, of course, live shopping, which I think is the fastest way that you can grow in social right now, and really what we've seen with clients. So TikTok is a huge player here. Obviously a lot kind of up in the air right now with the ban, waiting on more information from the Supreme Court. Lots of talks of potential buyers coming in. Trump obviously taking office the day after the ban's supposed to go into place. The next 2 weeks are going to be exciting. We'll have a lot more clarity by the end of January here. And I think that's going to allow us to make more actionable based decisions. But what I want to get into is like steps you can take right now if you're thinking about investing in TikTok, and you want to sort of protect the time and effort that you've put in. So this is by far the number one thing that we are and have been running with clients since really 2023. But we're also, really putting an emphasis on this right now, given the uncertainty, right? So these strategies will allow our clients to protect their customer relationships that they've built on TikTok, regardless of what happens, right? If TikTok's here in 6 months or if it's gone, this is a strategy that's going to help you protect that relationship. It's the idea of capturing unique personal identifiers. So think phone number, think email address, think name, right? From these audiences voluntarily, so that you can continue to communicate them regardless. So if someone's purchased from you on TikTok Shop, but they've never visited your website and they're not a member of your email or SMS list, this is the exact thing that I would suggest running to get that information. And you can go into TikTok and you can use ads to create audiences based off of people who have completed a payment within your TikTok Shop, people that have added a cart within your TikTok Shop, people that have viewed product within your TikTok Shop, and people that have initiated checkout within your TikTok Shop. And by creating those audiences, you can then show creative to those users, and you can push them back to your website to an email capture. The beauty of the website and the email capture is if you have a meta pixel set up or you're doing some Google, right, they're going to enter those retargeting audiences right away, right when they land on your website. Then take it a step further. If you're able to capture that email and that phone number voluntarily, they're opting into your marketing messaging, you're gonna be able to retarget that user up until they opt out, right? And so it's a really, really powerful strategy for someone that has shopped or bought from you, or is even in the consideration phase right now, that discovered you on TikTok Shop, but is not in your meta retargeting, is not in your Google retargeting, is not on your email list. These are the exact audiences that we're using to do this. The lead generation, right, can take place on two two scenarios. You could have it actually on the website. So if you have a form right now, you can push traffic to that website. Again, then you're getting the retargeting audiences. Typically, right, you're adding in another step for the user. So there's pros and cons to that because you're getting the meta pixel or you're getting the Google tracking, right? But you might see a little bit of a higher drop off or a little bit of slightly higher cost. And then there's the lead generation on TikTok where you're having a form set up, you're capturing their information within the platform, you're able to export that out and upload it manually, or you're able to use a third-party trigger like a Zapier or something where it sends directly to a list, right? And so regardless how you go about this, just make sure that right now, over the next probably 2 weeks, I would definitely be allocating budget to these campaigns with the goal of capturing this lead generation. You're going to need specific creative to do this. And the creative is going to allow you to get the lowest cost. So you're going to be able to reach the most people for the lowest cost. It's also going to give the person on the other end of the screen very clear instructions into what you would like them to do, right? And so we recommend really focusing this creative on join our email list. Ideally, you're working in some sort of offer here, right? Whether it be a standard offer that you have for users who join your email list or something unique that you're doing. Maybe you have a new release coming up. Maybe you're doing a gift with purchase, right? Maybe you're doing some sort of free shipping on some sort of sample. It's really going to depend on your brand, the amount of SKUs you have, your inventory, all that. But the more you offer the person to opt into your email list, the more emails you're going to get at a lower cost. So creative is going to be really important when you're running these campaigns. But focus on getting something up quick because your window to run these is really what I would say over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then you can also segment out. So if you create an audience of anyone who's viewed product, right, within your ad campaigns, you can actually exclude people who are current email subscribers or website visitors. So you're making sure that your spend's really going after the people that you don't have a way to communicate with if something is to happen with TikTok in the future. The way that you create these audiences, you can see in the screenshot a few of the audiences that we've created, right? Is you go to tools inside your TikTok business center. You then click on audience manager. You then go to custom audience, select audience type. You define that audience. That's where you're selecting the things here like complete payment or add to cart or viewed product in X amount of days, right? It can be 180, it can be 90, it can be 60, it kind of depends how long you've been on the platform, right? You are adjusting those audience settings, you're confirming, then you're creating, and then you're populating. One thing I'd also really recommend here is that you enable reach and frequency, right? So there's going to be a button in there that you're going to see. We'll get into this where you create these custom audiences. You're going to be able to adjust reach and frequency. Turn this on when you're creating these audiences because what you don't want to do is run this campaign and then just target the same 10 people over and over and over and over and over again, right? You want to make sure that you reach that full pot. So if you have 100,000 people in that audience or 53,000 people in that audience, you're going to want to reach each one of those users as many times as you can, but you're not going to want to zoom in on 10K of that and only reach 20% of that audience. And the way you adjust that is your reach and frequency. When you create these custom audiences, there's a little button that you there's a little button that you turn on to allow you to adjust reach and frequency when you're setting up your campaign. The other thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you have uploaded your current email list, right? You're going to want to exclude these people from your campaigns. Core of advertising is right user, right message at the right time. So if you are showing someone an ad creative that's already on your email list and you're telling them to join your email list, that's not going to resonate with them, right? So you're going to want to avoid that by excluding your current campaign list based off of who's already subscribed. And then the other thing you want to think about is your website pixels. So obviously having someone visit your website is valuable because you can retarget them, but getting their email and their phone number is going to be more valuable. So you're going to have to make a call there, whether you're okay with just being able to retarget them on other platforms or whether you really, really want that personal identifier information. I would really want that personal identifier information, but the website pixel does present some really great opportunities there. That said, you got to make sure that that's set up correctly. So you have to make sure that your Meta and your Google tracking or any other platform, you have that pixel set up. It doesn't just happen, right? So if you've run ads previously, most sites, I think at this point, would have those pixels set up. But if you don't, make sure that you do. So again, that's like the core strategy right now that we're really recommending to brands, is to go in and capture that information so that regardless of what happens with TikTok, right? Again, fast forward 3 weeks from now, this is no longer a thing. TikTok's here to stay. Doesn't hurt you at all to have that customer identification. It's going to allow you to retarget those users, whether through email or SMS. It's a really great thing, right? And if something does happen to TikTok in the future, you've gotten those audiences into another place where you can really, really focus in on retargeting them and driving, action over 2025. All right. The other thing that we want to go over in this is just making sure that you are calculating your budgets accordingly. So this is the exact math that we are using with clients to go in and basically identify how much we need to spend on these campaign flights. So you have the audience size. I'll show you that again inside the platform. So you can see in here, right, it says 53K, it says 6K, right? So TikTok's going to tell you exactly how many users are in that audience. You're then going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to take your average CPM, right, the cost to reach 1,000 people, and you'll go in and you'll pull that from your ad account. So usually that's going to be anywhere from $10 to $20. There are scenarios where it's higher or lower. And that's not going to be perfect, but it's going to give you some idea of how much it's going to cost for you to reach 1,000 users, right? And then the next thing you're going to do is figure out your campaign. So you want to run this for a week? Do you want to run this for 3 days? That's really going to be up to you. I'm looking at this in week by week scenarios. So I would recommend doing this for a week at a time, and then I would adjust accordingly, right? Because we might have totally different information a week from now. So that's how we would go in and do this. Here's a scenario of how to calculate that. So a retail client has an audience of 50K shop engaged users, right, on TikTok. Their average CPM is $15. They decide to run a 1 week campaign because they want to reach all those users before the 20th. They're going to factor in, they want to reach all those users 2 times. So the total impressions there is going to be 100K, right? And then 100K divided by 15 would be $1,500. So that's going to sort of give them some math to base this off of how many users they're going to be able to go in and reach. And then they're going to use those controls of reach and frequency to make sure that when they spend that $1,500, they truly reach the largest possible pool of that 100K, right? Or 50K users 2 times, versus, again, not having that enabled and then just ending up retargeting out of that 50K, 10K users over time. So they want to be more aggressive. They want to get their impressions up. They're going to spend more, right? So you want to reach, in theory, everyone 4 times. You're going to increase that budget by double. So you can either spend 3K over that campaign flight. Now, keep in mind, just because you're reaching all of those people does not mean that you are going to go in and get all of their emails, right? A percentage of those people are going to opt in. So be a bit more aggressive here. You can always scale it back if you need to, but if you're really focused on capturing as many of those emails as you can, we would recommend a higher frequency there and adjust the budgeting and the calculations here accordingly. And then I am going to take a second just to check messages because they don't seem to be flowing into the studio, but keep them coming, please, please, please. The next thing that we're recommending to any and all clients that are running affiliate is exporting that affiliate data and getting those unique personal identifiers for those affiliates. So, these relationships, the creators that you've worked with or that have featured your products, they're going through the same thing you are right now as a brand. And they're sitting there and they're like, oof, what are we going to do, if TikTok gets banned? So they're going to be looking at other platforms, and they're not going to want the relationships that they've developed with these brands to just disappear either, right? They're going to want to make sure that these relationships live on no matter what in 2025. So reach out to those creators and ask them for their email, ask them for their phone number, right? A really great way to do this is if you already have some sort of ambassador program or ambassador landing page directing them to that. This can feed into like an email management system where you're able to segment out these creators at a later date based off of GMV. And this is something we'd aggressively pursue, starting with the top performing creators and working your way down, right? We call these like your MVP creators, the ones that have generated the most GMV for you. Start there, get those people's information, and then work your way down that list. A true affiliate program is not going to be specific to one platform, right? With the launch of IG Creator Marketplace, YouTube affiliates, right? UGC on site, UGC in emails. Managing these creator relationships is going to be key no matter what happens with TikTok. And you're going to want to take those off platform regardless. And we already have a number of clients who already have a community, whether it's a WhatsApp group, a Slack, a Discord channel, or again, some sort of email marketing segmentation inside Klaviyo, where they can reach out to these users constantly and help engage them with whatever initiative they have coming in the pipeline. So this is super, super key. If you do these two things, right, you're going to be really, really well positioned no matter what happens with the future of TikTok to make sure that, you know, the people who have sort of developed a relationship with you on the platform, whether they are direct shoppers or they're affiliates and ambassadors, those live on regardless. And there's really no downside to doing either of these two things. So really, really important to do and strongly recommend that. Again, these are the exact strategies that we're running with clients. The next thing I wanted to go over here is just the future of social commerce, right? Social commerce is something that we've been betting on, and I've personally been betting on since 2020 as really the future of e-commerce. And I see that not changing regardless. You know, TikTok's been amazing at accelerating that future and coming in and capturing a large portion of the market very quickly. But the future of social commerce is going to live on regardless of TikTok and TikTok Shop's future, right? It just might be different scenarios. So let's talk through these. TikTok continues operation. What does that look like, right? Well, TikTok is definitely going to continue to capture a large portion of this market very, very quickly. You're going to see rapid growth. They're going to continue to push the industry forward with new features, integrated experiences, right? They've been honestly incredible at this, the way that they've been able to introduce new features, whether it's like a native CRM inside Seller Center, or obviously affiliate closed loop, revenue sharing, right? There's just they really have pushed the envelope further here, faster than Google, faster than Meta, and that's going to continue, right? And you can see this just by working with TikTok. They're not taking their foot off the gas, even with this uncertainty, right? So we expect, if something changes and TikTok is here to stay, which, I'm personally betting money on, that's my personal belief is that's going to happen. From a business standpoint, obviously need to advise clients with kind of the facts on the table and not my personal opinion. But, we do believe that TikTok is going to have a future in the US in various scenarios, right? They're going to continue to push the envelope further. Now, if TikTok is banned or divested and has to change radically, here's what to expect, right? You're going to see continued growth on Meta, YouTube, Snapchat, right? And emerging platforms. So you're going to see the same thing happen that brands are doing right now, where they're like, ooh, I need to think about if 90% of my sales are coming in on TikTok, how do I grow on other platforms? Creators are doing that too. So you're going to see naturally that shift over. They saw this in India when TikTok was banned. Meta Reels specifically, I think, saw a huge increase in the amount of usage right after. You're going to see really the same thing with affiliate partnerships. Fast diversification to other platforms. Right now, a creator who's got 90% of their revenue tied to TikTok is going to be looking for different ways that they can expand upon that, right? And you're going to see increased adoption of owned affiliate communities. Social Snowball is a great tool for this. Some people use, again, like a Discord or a Slack or a WhatsApp or a Klaviyo as well. And so that's only going to continue to accelerate. Live shopping, probably adopted at a little bit of a slower pace, but still a lot of traction gained on new platforms. So obviously, if you go on Instagram right now, if you look at your stories, the first thing that you see is live, right? It does not matter if you have not engaged with that person's profile in years. If they are live, they are top real estate, Instagram stories, first story that you see, right? So we expect that to continue. YouTube's making a big push here, right? In addition to YouTube affiliate. And then one thing I'm really bullish on is marketplaces like Whatnot, Talk Shop Live, right? They already have a great market share of live shopping. It's going to continue to accelerate it. And then brand.com, especially if you're getting a high volume of website traffic to your brand.com. I think you're going to see more and more live integrations on site. The way I explain this is you wouldn't ever open a retail store and not staff it, right? And your website is your biggest retail store, like dollar for dollar wise. That is, it's open 24 hours a day, right? Anyone can shop it. It is your biggest retail store. It's still honestly a bit mind blowing to me that this hasn't been adopted at a faster pace, because I go to sites all the time and I'm like, I just wish I could ask someone a question or two and get what I want. I don't want to have to scroll 1,000 different SKUs, right? And I think you're going to see brand.com be a place where live shopping really accelerates. Now, keep in mind, it's different, right? Live shopping on brand.com, you're going to need to drive traffic to it. A lot of these people are familiar with your brand already, versus live shopping on TikTok, where it's a lot of new users and it's a lot of repetitive messaging, right? So you have to change your strategy for your lives and how you get users signed up for those. But the service is going to continue to grow. And then last but not least, email and SMS. I think you're going to see more and more people put priority on own customer information, increasingly important as algorithms change and brands have a little bit more of this like, oof, I want more control over my audience that I'm paying to engage. I am going to pop it over to a question here. Would you recommend the same approach to a brand which has not focused so far, or which has focused so far on awareness and not conversion? Asking for contact information from a person who has just decided to follow seems very aggressive. So I would, I think I see this all the time, like email offers, like it feels aggressive maybe if you're just asking, but if you're offering something in return, I think it's actually a really great strategy. These people have already engaged with you. Maybe they're not in that full conversion phase, but brand awareness, there's probably some consideration there, right? And I think if you can go to the table with something to offer them to join your email or your SMS list, that's a phenomenal idea. Now, if you're just asking for them to join your email and SMS list and you're not giving anything, I think that's maybe something where I would consider it a little bit more if they haven't bought yet. But I think if you have something good to bring to the table, it's totally worth it. And again, if you've invested brand awareness dollars into the platform, I would totally be trying to get those people over to other channels. But again, the key takeaway here for social commerce is it's going to continue to grow significantly regardless of what happens with TikTok, right? TikTok's going to allow it to grow faster, but it's really going to grow quickly no matter what. And investing in this right now, right, is going to give you a strong advantage to take over your total addressable market now and in years to come, right? Think about the first brands that got going on TikTok Shop and the huge advantage that they've had over the past 2 years. It's the same thing for YouTube right now. It's the same thing for IG Reels with product tags and creator marketplace. So again, it really is an opportunity. And like anything in life, right, you can't control what happens with TikTok right now unless you're very important person who's probably not tuning into this live, but that would be cool. But you can't control what actions you take right now, right? And so again, this is a way where you can get ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff and potentially position yourself for success, right? And in the long term. So strongly encourage you to think about these different opportunities, right? And diversification is key regardless. So, you would never want to have all your eggs in one basket. And it's the exact same thing here. Like if you were a stock investor, right? If you had 90% of your net worth tied to one stock, it's probably not a great idea. So you want to have that diversification. And it's the same thing when you're running paid media or when you're investing in these different channels as a brand. And so what opportunities are there out there, right? Well, there's going to be social first, right? No matter what platform it is, from scrolling to search, social commerce marketplaces are going to continue to expand. We'll get into the specifics of those in a minute, but those are going to continue to expand. And you're going to see more and more integrations from things like X and Reddit where you can shop. I mean, this is natural. These platforms want to capture as much market opportunity as they can. And so for them, if they can have a percentage of the transaction fee in addition to the advertising revenue, that's a win-win. That's exactly what TikTok was doing, right? So that's going to continue to expand. Again, live shopping is going to continue to expand. Comments sold is a huge player in this space. Whatnot, Talk Shop Live, right? All big players prior to TikTok shop in the live shopping space. You're going to see them continue to aggressively go after that opportunity. Authentic creator partnerships, and then expansion outside of niche communities, right? So social commerce is thriving right now in these niche communities, but it's going to continue to expand, and you're going to see it basically reach greater broad audiences in the future. So let's get into some of these opportunities, right? The biggest one that we're looking at right now and that I'm really excited about is YouTube shopping. So YouTube shopping has been a little bit slower to launch, but we are seeing some really, really cool stuff on YouTube right now. So from brand connect to the ability to do split affiliate commissions all inside of YouTube, to Spark posting, basically the ability to connect a creator's brand handle on YouTube to your ad account and then run ads behind that. Those are all things you can do on YouTube right now. Now, granted, you're going to need to maybe get some special access or beta, right? But when you work with an agency who's really close with Google or who has experience here, they can get you these things. And it's just really awesome to see Google really push the envelope here. I think that YouTube has probably the most comparable infrastructure right now. I just think it's a little bit more selective. Not everybody can go in and just set up a YouTube shopping affiliate program, right? It's a little bit more of stuff to peel back, but the actual fundamentals of it, right, are there, right? Like it's got sort of all the parts working together in the way that you would want. They're investing in it. It's definitely a priority for them. Also, YouTube has like more watch time, I'm pretty sure, than TikTok right now. So the shoppers are there, right? The affiliate posts are there. You think about a big brand. If you go in and type that brand into YouTube right now, you're going to see all these videos pop up. If you're a creator, one of the cool things you can do if you're already posting on YouTube is once you're a part of their partner program, right, you can actually retroactively tag videos that you've already posted with product tags and look at how these videos come up, right? So this is a mobile screenshot of a client that we work with, originally started on TikTok, but actually when they signed up, I was like, you got to get on Meta too, specifically because you need to diversify your channels. We need to get you on email and SMS. So they're blowing up on TikTok, but they took that advice. I'm sure they're very, very grateful that they did that now. And we've been testing in Q4 with them on YouTube shopping and YouTube affiliate. And it's just mind blowing the real estate that this takes up. So this is actually a screenshot directly from my mobile phone. Like almost half of that image is those products in the video. You can click on those products. You can check out very, very seamlessly. So it's really, really amazing. And again, you can retroactively tag these videos. You can also use Brand Connect to discover new creators. Creators have to have at least 10K followers. As a brand, there are some restrictions in terms of the third-party data feed that you're using for your merchant center. So just things to be aware of. But again, if you qualify or if you have access, I think this is the most seamless platform right now. And we do expect even further investment in live shopping on YouTube over the course of 2025. Instagram is also very, very interesting. I think you're going to see a lot of people move over to Instagram Reels very quickly. I think TikTok's got a better algorithm, but I don't think that Instagram's that far behind. Instagram kind of has all the parts. So Instagram's got Commerce Manager where you can check out directly on the app. They have Advantage Plus campaigns where you can run and let Meta optimize for your website or for Instagram shops or Facebook shops, right? They have product tagging. They've got this IG creator marketplace where you can discover new creators. So they kind of got like all these different things that you can utilize within social commerce. They haven't really packaged these together in the best way. So you can do a reel where it's like a partnership post. So say it's, I'm a brand, let's just call it EK is the brand. And then I'm working with a creator, right? And that creator, I say, hey, let's do some stuff together. from a social commerce perspective. I can get that creator to do a short form reel. Right? I can tag products from my store on that creator's reel, and I can feature at the top here like these paid partnership posts. The thing is, it's a little bit clunky to set up. Not as intuitive as you would hope. It's not as seamless as TikTok Shop. There's not split affiliate commissions. They're going to get there. You can bet that has got to be a priority for them coming in 2025. But again, I think YouTube's probably a little bit further advanced, right? But a little bit more restrictive, where Instagram has all the parts to make this happen. And there's not as many restrictions in terms of follower counts or data feeds, right? It's just a little bit more of a tedious to actually go in and set up the right way. But we are seeing some really amazing results. Advantage Plus campaigns crush, Reels with product tags crush. IG creator marketplaces get incredibly high responses when compared to affiliate outreach on TikTok. So again, this is going to continue to increase regardless of what happens with TikTok in 2025, and presents a really great opportunity for innovative D2C brands to go in, capture market share in a new way, and really accelerate their social commerce growth, which is a market that is only going to continue to grow. Live shopping is the next one, right? And we included live shopping as more broad. You can do it on Instagram. You can tag products in a live on Instagram, and you can check out directly in those lives. You can do it on YouTube, although it is somewhat restrictive, and you have to qualify for certain watch time and brand follower counts, right? And then on site, obviously, there's a lot of tools that allow you to do this on site, from video, which is a comment sold powered app, to Terrific, right, which is another really amazing social commerce app. Live shopping on site for a brand that's seeing substantial website traffic is a really, really great thing to do. It's really fun. It's interactive. You can do Q&A. You can do polls, exclusive deals. This is only going to become more prevalent. Again, that idea of you wouldn't have a retail store without people in it being able to advise and sort of help guide shoppers. I think you're going to see that same thing with websites. I do think websites are going to continue to evolve and look more like social commerce marketplaces. So you're going to see more short form videos on websites. You're going to see short form videos with product tags, right? Shop the look on websites. You're going to see live shopping on websites, like all these things that you are used to, reviews, comments, right? In a social feed that has the ability to check out, you're going to see websites adapt to, right? And I think the experience right now of going from social to a website, it's kind of like if you're driving a car and then you get out and you start walking, right? It's a totally different pace to which you're shopping and which you're exploring, versus what I think it will be in the future, where it's a little bit more like changing lanes. So you leave a social site to go back to a website. It's going to feel very similar to what you were looking at on Instagram or what you were looking at on TikTok, because this is going to increase watch time, or it's going to keep people on your website longer. Ultimately, it's going to drive up conversions as well. So I got another question here. When it comes to buying on social, how do you see live shopping, shoppable videos with comments sold type software companies playing into YouTube, Meta, Instagram, social shopping beyond just comment buying? Or is comment buying the staple, and what you see coming? No, so I don't think it's going to be comment buying. I think that you are going to see YouTube, Meta, and Instagram become more competitors with a comment sold, right? Or, a Terrific or a Bamboozer. I think that ultimately these are publicly traded companies and they want to increase their revenue, right, from all angles. And I think they're probably talking about how, okay, we're capturing a lot of ad revenue. What's our next phase? I think it's natural for that next phase to be the transaction revenue. And I think that live shopping only is going to help all the other metrics that they have to report on as public companies, right? So you think about it like if you were Meta, live shopping allows you on Instagram to keep someone on Instagram longer. It drives up engagements, right? It drives up time spent. It drives up average daily user time, right? So I think that those comment solds are going to become more integrations, right? Like comment sold integrates directly with TikTok, right? Natively within TikTok shop, right? But it is not something where you're seeing the overlay on TikTok that you saw with comment sold and Facebook previously, right? So I think that's going to continue to happen where those software companies become more integrations behind the scenes of transactions that are happening on YouTube, Meta, and Instagram, and they become a really valuable tool for an on-site experience. But I think you're going to see them less branded on-site, right? And it's going to become part of more of like a native cover where it feels like it's almost like just a part of a tool for the brand and not like super specific to the actual software, like Comment Sold, where on Comment Sold right now, you can kind of tell if it's a Comment Sold app or you can tell if it's a Comment Sold live. I think you're going to see, especially larger players, want more of a branded live shopping or shoppable video on their site experience versus one that's clearly a third-party integration. So I think those companies have a lot of room to run if they focus on, again, that branded experience on brand.com or integrations within a YouTube or a Meta or an Instagram, because as good as those companies are, they're not going to be able to cover all the bases. And we already see that, which is why, a number of clients are using Comment Sold to go live on TikTok Shop. Even if it's, again, from someone shopping, it looks just like a TikTok Shop experience. All right. But great question. And excited to see you at SoCom. So social commerce, right? Multi-platform campaigns. So some of the challenges associated with this, right? New marketplaces, like we just talked about, limited integrations, right? Opportunities. The other thing that they're going to have to overcome is consumer trust. We saw this with TikTok Shop. We're going to continue to see this, but over time, all these platforms are going to want to get to like what I call Amazon level trust, where it's like you buy it, it's coming, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to be privacy concerns, right? So what are they doing with my data? And then platform algorithm changes, right? So these are all things that are natural on any platform that we see, no matter if you're running paid media or you're doing content creation, right? Constant challenges. To some extent, you are operating on their court, so you have to kind of play by their rules. And some of these are external, like consumer trust. The solution here, right, is to really work with an agency or a partner or a freelancer who knows these channels really well and can save you time and headaches with avoiding unproven strategies or spending hours and days even working through integrations, right? Like when we TikTok Shop first launched, we had so many clients coming to us just like, hey, I can't get past the approval stage, right? What do I need to do here? How do I get my product syncing over? It's like, that is the point of an agency. They can help really speed up that timeline and really just focus on driving results and avoid all the tedious work that goes into kind of challenging a new or standing up a new marketplace or social commerce marketplace. They know the integrations, they have the connections with the partners at the platforms, at the third-party software tools, right? And they can really help you navigate all of that. And again, social commerce is just going to continue to grow across the board. And those that invest now really stand to gain strong advantages in the future. So action items, right? If you don't have an Instagram or a Facebook shop set up, if I said Meta Commerce Manager and you had no idea what I was talking about, get that up and running ASAP. Check to see if you qualify for YouTube shopping, right? It's a big opportunity. I think the people who start utilizing this are going to see purchases very quickly. They're going to get more opportunities to do stuff with creators where they can run creator campaigns on YouTube. They're going to see CPMs drop. They're going to see Google performance increase. They're probably going to get some advantage in Google shopping campaigns. I think this is going to have a really strong ripple effect. Build a network of affiliates that you own the relationships with, where they feel like they're part of a private community versus sort of going through a third-party platform. That way, you can really direct those affiliates into whatever channels, whatever goals you have as a brand. Make sure you're collecting personal identifier information regardless of the platform. This should always be part of your strategy, right? We call these branches of the funnel. Even back in 2020, 2021, when we were running ads primarily on Meta, we were running 5% of the budget to an email capture list that was retargeting people who had engaged, right, or visited the website, excluding people who are already on that list. This is something that just should be constant, right? If you don't have your email and SMS list subscribers as part of the weekly KPIs that you're tracking as a D2C brand, you should. You want to optimize for social commerce closed loop, right? This means like search that happens on these platforms, right? So TikTok Shop, obviously Shop tab, right? The more detailed product pages that you have on the social commerce platforms, the higher you're going to rank right? When people go in and they type for things like blenders or whatever it is, clothing or whatever, right? Fundamentally, more search is happening on outside platforms besides Google, right, than ever before. I think I saw a recent report like Google's market share of search has reached like lower levels than it ever, not ever has been, but ever, like it's like regressing for the first time in a while. I think that's because of obviously AI, but also more search is just happening natively on these social commerce platforms. So if you're able to optimize for search on social commerce, you're going to stand to gain some strong advantages. Focus on a short form strategy that includes creators, brands, and search content, right? You should not just be relying on creators for your short form video strategy. You should not just be relying internally on brand content for your short form strategy. And you should also create short form that really goes after SEO results. So if you go on Google even and you start typing in things, you're going to see videos, YouTube shorts, even TikToks rank higher organically in search. And so you want to figure out what are people searching for and discovering my brand? How can I create short form video there beyond just your traditional SEO, right? This is a really cool opportunity. I call it video SEO. And enhance your product pages on these platforms for improved search visibility as well. There's obviously more action items, right? We'll continue to share those on LinkedIn. So definitely follow me, engage with me there, check out all the Agile stuff. We do an amazing job with our awesome marketing team blasting that stuff out. And right, if you are interested, some of the things that we do really, really well that separate us from the competition are our experience on social shopping, right? Outside of just being like really one of the first ever TikTok Shop partners in the US, we had the second ever purchase on TikTok Shop. We also have really amazing partnerships across different channels, from Meta to Google to YouTube to affiliate platforms like Social Snowball to Klaviyo to Commentsold to Yotpo and more. We have an amazing, amazing team and amazing, amazing partners that we will utilize to make sure we deliver you absolute best results, right? We've been working in the live shopping space on website, YouTube, Instagram, and of course, TikTok since 2020, really launching that as a service for clients in 2022, 2023. So we have a network of just proven hosts who have experience across all these different platforms. We have a network of proven moderators that can be perfect for your brand, right? And it's just a huge, huge advantage for us in addition to all the paid and email expertise that we bring to the table. And then affiliate marketing that works for you, not against you, right? We're not an affiliate agency that just wants to sample, right? We want to be smart. We want to be strategic, from, MVP creators with pay to play budgets to a bit more of a lean approach. We really focus on an ROI driven approach to affiliate marketing that builds communities that you can then use across multiple channels, right, that align with your unique goals and honestly where you're seeing the best results. So if you want to take your social commerce game to the next level, you can sign up for a demo. We are happily able to do audits, jump on calls, kind of go through that process, see where you're at. If you're a good fit for the agency, we'll let you know. If there's a few things we want to see you kind of work on and come back to the table with, we will also let you know that too. We want to make sure it's a great partnership from the start. So you can scan that QR code, fill out that form, and get in touch with us, and even book a call directly through that. And it's a pretty seamless experience. So we'd love to work with you if that's something you're interested in. We believe in social commerce. We've seen it in action. We've been in the game since 2020, and we're only doubling down on it in 2025. So some examples of the work that we did, right? We work with Easy Bombs. They're actually the one that we're doing the YouTube affiliate stuff with, right? We just saw incredible results with them on TikTok Shop, from a 30x return to over 3.5 million in affiliate GMV in Q1. But they were also smart enough to sign up for multiple services from the jump, right? So we got going with email with them. We got going with Meta with them. And it's really put them in an amazing position to be able to diversify, play a few different angles, right? Play the cards that you're dealt, with everything going on with TikTok Shop. Whereas if 95% of their eggs were in that one basket, it'd be a little bit more of a scramble right now. We've been recognized by TikTok, in addition to Meta and Google, where Google, we've had partnerships for 26 plus years. Meta badge partners, TikTok, obviously, ad innovators, creator agencies, live shopping, all that fun stuff. So I do want to open it up to a bit more Q&A. Would love to see what you're struggling with, what's working for you right now, or if you have any specific questions for us. And if nothing flows in, we will definitely encourage you to fill out a form, talk to our team about social commerce, and see what we might be able to do for you. Because I truly believe we are the best in the game at this. I don't think there's another agency that has the breadth of experience that we do on social commerce. We are not a TikTok shop first agency, right? We are not a meta only agency. We are not affiliate agency. We've strategically built up each channel to become experts, and we loop in the right people for you to make sure that we can drive the best results for you, no matter what your goals are. So I really appreciate everyone's time today. Again, definitely scan that QR code, fill that out, get a free consultation with our team, free audits, no questions asked, right? We'll give you our best advice. And, I hope to talk to some people after this. Definitely feel free to comment after if you're watching this in the replay. Drop me a DM on LinkedIn, and here to help. So really appreciate everyone's time. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Take those steps that we went over at the start, where you're retargeting your TikTok audience and getting them into own channels, and you're moving your affiliates off if you're a brand that's invested heavily into TikTok over the past year, right? Worst case scenario, you got a little bit of a safety net there, right? If something does happen. Best case scenario, right? You keep pushing ahead with TikTok Shop, and you keep crushing your goals with TikTok Shop, right? And you continue to be able to build off other platforms, because one of the things that's actually been really effective for us too is when a new platform comes along, being able to accelerate the growth of that new platform by leveraging your existing assets, right? So we'd love to do that with you. Comment on this, drop a note to me, and I'll see everybody at our next LinkedIn Live, which I'm hoping will be next Tuesday, where we'll go into a bit more information on live shopping and really granular each platform, what works, what doesn't, right? What are the nuances? So that link will be live soon. I'll drop it in this event, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks so much for tuning in.